Hey everybody, happy Thursday. On Thursdays, Wise Consultant, we do our lives with a guest business owner, entrepreneur. So I'm going to let people start rolling in. We're probably going to start in about 2 minutes, and then we'll start with our guests. Thank you for joining us. Hey Kayla, hey Shauna, hey Ash. Thank y'all for joining us. We're going to start in about 2 minutes. Thank you, Lakeisha. How you doing? Thank you. People to the lives. Hey Fred. I'm gonna start in about 2 minutes, y'all. Just letting people roll in. People in. Thank y'all all who are joining. Our guests will be on soon too. So inviting people. Hey Miss Joy. Hey Ariane. Yeah, we're gonna start about as soon as our guest gets on, then we'll start. And like I said, y'all can do me a favor and invite people to the live. Tonight, our guest will be Lindsay Usain. She is the owner and designer for I Craft It Up. And she's about to join us now. Hey, Bruno. There you go. Hey, Lindsay.
There we go. Figured it out.
Hey, Ash. Thanks for joining. All right. I'm glad you're on. Just letting people in. Okay, everybody, like I said, today is Thursday, and on Thursdays we always have a business owner or entrepreneur on. Let them talk about their business, talk about what they do, talk about their road to entrepreneurship and things they wish they knew before and just advice and just kind of have conversations with people. So tonight our guest business owner is Lindsay Usain. She is the owner and the designer of I Craft It Up. So Lindsay, the floor is now yours, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. You are right. I own I Crafted Up. It started out as, like a hobby after my wedding. I felt like I spent so much money buying stuff. Pretty sure my bridal party walked away with more gifts than I left the wedding with, just because I had stuff. So I felt like that's something I could do, start making stuff myself. So I did. And like I said, it really started out as a hobby, just me making stuff for me and my kids. And then as I started doing that, people ask, oh, where'd you get that shirt? I started taking orders. A lot of stuff I did for free just because I didn't know what I was doing for real. But that was back in 2017. So, I've been a legit business for the past 4 years now. And expanded from doing just vinyl shirts to like sublimation, door hangers, gift baskets, DTF transfers. And that's why my slogan is whatever you can think up, I can craft up.
Yeah, and I saw on the Malik Mingo show you did the tablecloth for Flavor King Noel. I saw that was on TV. It was really nice. I saw it in person too, but it was really nice. So
Thank
what
you.
is your what is your advice for people who are like scared to start a business? I know you said you kind of started as a hobby, now it's turned into a business, but like what advice do you have people who are like scared to like take that step or, trying to venture off into doing like their own company?
Start. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to spend some money getting over that learning curve, but find people who are good at what you want to do. Watch them. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Not everybody will be receptive to that, but take that with a grain of salt and do what you have to do to become good and great at what you want to pursue. But seriously, just start. Buy that piece of equipment, buy that whatever it is, and just take that first step. Once you invest your money, you're not just going to back on it. So put some skin in the game and just start.
So I know you said when you started off, you were doing some things for free. And, you know, a lot of times when people see small business owners, they don't treat you, you're a business. So they don't treat you as a business. They want a discount, or they want it, you know, I'm your sister, I'm your cousin. So how do you deal with that, like with pricing and like people trying to lowball you because you are a small business and that you know, kind of started off on your own from the ground up?
Yeah, it took me a while because you do have to learn your worth. And I'm telling you, I took a lot of losses at first just because I wanted the business. But as you get that confidence in yourself and the experience, you learn, you know, all money isn't good money. People will try to lowball you. They will try to come at you for discounts where, like I said, you'll be taking losses on what you're making. But stand firm in what you know your value is. My value proposition is not always that I'm going to be the cheapest. I'm not. But what I produce is quality. And like I said, that was a migration from the beginning because, like I said, at first I really didn't know what I was doing. And it took a lot of trial and error. But as you gain that confidence, stand on your ground. You are not going to be for everybody. You can be the cheapest and you still won't be for everybody. But trust what you're putting out. Take the time to become good at your craft so that you can garner those higher prices and stick to it. And if you want to give a discount, give one. If you don't, that is okay. You don't owe it to if you are providing them with something. It's not like you're just, you know, you're providing them with something. So remember what you're going through, whether that's family or not, because trust me, family they will come at you and they want the discounts, and it'll be a perfect stranger who you don't know from Jack, and they will still ask you the same thing. So like I said, take all of it with a grain of salt. Do not take any of it personally, but become a master of your craft so you can garner the price points that you want and stand firm that you know the quality of product you're putting out is worth what you're asking for.
So with you having like a crafting business, I know you probably take orders, you know, before, what is your take on like deposits? Because, you know, sometimes people will say, oh, you know, I want this. And then now you have hold that spot for them, started making their item or whatever it is. And then they're like, oh no, I changed my mind, I don't want anymore. So like, what is your take on deposits? How do you handle that? We always talk about that on the lives.
I do not do deposits, and that again is trial and error. I have some items here that I made, I want to say 2018, and they're still here. So if I would have
Oh
just
my
taken
God.
if I would have just taken a deposit or not gotten paid, I would have put out the product and they just never picked it up. They knew it was done. And I have a few things like that. So I do not do deposits now, but again, that was trial and error. That was a migration for me. Initially I did because, like I said, I wanted to get the experience in the business, but it was a migration and it just wasn't a platform that worked for me, and it does not work for every customer, and that's a risk you take. And I'm willing to take it because, like I said, things have happened, and all of my positions on that are from a standpoint of experience now.
So what are some of the things that you offer in your business? I know, like, can you give us like some examples of some of the things that you do? Because
Sure.
crafting, I know, is so much.
Right. So I make everything from business cards, stickers, banners, T-shirts, like I said, the door hangers, the sublimated kind, not the carved wood kind, and of course, shirts, jerseys, any kind of wearable item for the most part. And like I said, I offer the mediums of vinyl, the full color, direct to fabric transfers, and sublimation. I dabbled in embroidery, wasn't for me, so I do not offer that, but the other mediums I do.
What what are some of the things that you wish you knew before you actually started your business? So I know you started in 2017, you started off as fun, but what are the things that you like? And we have a lot of business owners on here, and I know a lot of them always say, I know when I first started my first business, I'm like, Lord, if I knew what I knew now, I'd probably be a millionaire. So what are some of the things that you wish you knew before you actually started and you took it to the full business side?
Expect to lose money. Like I said, whether it's investing in the equipment that you need, because I progressively bought equipment. I think my learning curve would have been smaller if I would have just been willing to make that investment all up front, for some key pieces. And then, like I said, trial and error, playing with software, spend a lot of time watching the people who you see are successful at what you want to do. I think I would have spent more time doing that up front as well, just so you can avoid some pitfalls, and then learning about the mediums that you want to use. Like, there's different kinds of vinyl that go on different kinds of shirts. Sublimation can only go on a certain kind of shirt. Take that time to do that before you go full-fledged with trying to offer services. And if you cannot do something, do not agree that you can do it. Do not take on something that you don't have the skill set or the time or whatever for, because it's going to end up costing you in the long run. Whether that's in material, lost client, lost of reputation. Only take on what you can actually manage.
And I'm glad you said that, because I feel like a lot of times with small business owners, or not even just small business owners, businesses that are just starting out, they just want that customer. They just want that somebody to book their venue. They just want somebody to do this, and they end up putting themselves in bad positions like that, knowing that they do not know what they're doing, or they fully don't know. So like, I mean, everybody in the chat, like, if you don't know something, that is totally fine. A customer would appreciate you being upfront and honest, and then instead of lying, and then it's not what they want. It's a big fallout. They posted you now on Instagram and did a live about you and everything like that. And it's okay not to know. Like, even with me in my consulting business, sometimes you may ask me a question. There's certain things I do not deal with. Like, if it's a legal question, even if I think I know, I'm going to say you need to get a counsel. Like, you know, you just don't put yourself in that thing, because with customers, especially small businesses, y'all, we only get one chance. They'll let McDonald's mess up their order 1,000 times. The ice machine could be broke 1,000 times, and they're going to still going back. So for some reason, they put small business at a higher pedestal, to where one mistake and they are going to drag for you everywhere. So that is a great thing. I'm glad you touched on that, because something we haven't touched on a lot is about, if you don't know something in your area, like, don't just take it on or try to learn the way, because somebody is paying you for something. So you definitely want to always put quality. Lindsay, somebody asked in the chat, have you ever refused to make an order?
Oh, yes. Some customers are just not for you, for your business model, and you have to be okay with that. So I have refused to take orders, like I said, either whether it was a skill set I did not have, or just something that could legally get me in trouble. People ask me to make things that can get me in copyright trouble or trouble all the time. And some people are willing to do that. I am not that person. And so, yes, the short answer is yes, I have. Sometimes it's just absolutely necessary, because again, small businesses' reputation is a lot of word of mouth. And once something goes, like you said, on Instagram or on Facebook, it's hard to combat that and still remain in your professional position, or, you know, not take it as a personal attack. So it's just better to eliminate that up front. And also, there's a degree of the customer is always right. I've also taken losses just for the sake of not arguing with someone. You know, that's why if you ask me now, hey, what size shirt do you think I should get? I'm not going to make any suggestions. You know what size shirt you wear better than I do, and that has, again, come from experience. Oh, this size doesn't fit right. Now eliminate that threat. I don't make suggestions on stuff like that, because I've given people money back just for the sake of, let me stand on the right side of things and not, you know, be going back and forth from a business standpoint with them, because of the, like I said, reputation is everything. And you are correct. You get one shot and you never know how far it's going to go.
Yeah, and that's true. So everybody in here, like, that's why we always talk about policies and procedures. So like with Lindsay having like a company that makes things, or you're a company that, I don't know, you sell stuff, you bake, you sell stuff. Whatever you're doing, make sure that you have something written, some type of confirmation from the customer that that is what they want. So like if you say you want pretty girl on your shirt, you know, you do a confirmation. If someone's ordering 12 dozen chocolate brownies, so you always have the confirmations, because customers, we need them for our business, but some of them are shady. Some of them will try to get over, like, no, I didn't say that. I wanted the last letter to be pink, or I wanted half this and that. So for all our business owners in the group chat, in the chat right now, just make sure you always have your policies, your procedures, and your confirmations of what someone has ordered, what someone wants, because it's just going to save you in the long end. It's hard for you to say you did something wrong when I have a thing saying, oh, this was completely what I wanted. Thank you. You know, so, and it also saves you from chargebacks. So, but your bank does not always charge back. If you can prove that you did what the customer asked, you will get your money back. So it's just to protect you. Like everything that you say on here, every time we have business owners, so them to give their experience and to help you not make the mistakes that we had to learn along the way.
Yeah. So
somebody
one, sometimes it's not even shady. They had, and I can remember, and I absolutely agree with you. Do not do anything that is not in writing. Even if you accept an order on a phone call, follow it up with an email, your actual voice, a text message, something written to get the confirmation documented. I remember something stands out. This lady ordered some couple shirts for her and her husband, but she inverted what needed to go on what size. Like she put the wording for his on her size shirt and vice versa. But she swore up and down I was the one who made that mistake. I had to go back, screenshot it to her. Like, no, this is literally what you showed me. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. Can you remake it? I'll rebuy it. But prior to that, if I wouldn't have had that in writing, I mean, I wouldn't have had a leg to stand on. And Ariana, I do agree with you.
Yes.
By saying no to some orders is important because you cannot, people will absolutely abuse that if they know that you are prone to kicking back money after. They will absolutely take advantage of it. So sometimes it's better to just say no to an order so you don't end up in that situation.
Yeah, and also too, there's a thing called customer service, and there's a thing also called running your business. So yes, you can give a refund sometime, like we said earlier, if you just don't want to deal with it, or like, you know, maybe it was your mistake. But every complaint, I mean, you cannot think like people, you're not going to always make everybody happy. And I think that's one thing we have to learn as small business owners is that you can't satisfy everybody. Like if they came to you for a service and you provide that service, sometimes people just don't like stuff just because. Like it's nothing you can do about that. So that's definitely, make sure business owners, you have your documentation, your contracts, your non-refundable deposits, whatever you have to do to protect yourself. And it's not just to protect yourself, it's also to protect the customer so they know up front, this is exactly what you asked for, you signed for it, so there's no mistakes. Because sometimes it's not even you messed up. A customer may have sent you an order and forgot, oh, I wanted to order my baby a onesie too. So you sent her this confirmation. She's like, oh no, add this too. So it's not always a bad thing. It's sometimes to also make sure the customer is getting everything that they want, which also could put more money, you know, in your pockets.
Right. Yep.
So what is the favorite thing you like to make? Since you make, I know you make a lot of stuff. What's your favorite item that you like to customize or design for people?
Door hangers. I sell like it's a 10 or 12 inch round, but it's for I don't know if you've seen them, but like when women go into labor in the hospital, they'll put it on the door and it has like the little.
Yeah, my son's baseball team used to do that for state and regionals.
So I love making those because it's always so cute. That, and I feel like I've been a part of some really cool events like life milestones, whether it was engagements or baby announcements, and it's like you know a little bit ahead of time because you're making it for the people to announce. So I like doing stuff like that, like big family events. But I do love doing door hangers. I love all things baby, newborn. That's my thing.
What's like the peak time for your business? I know you do a lot of shirts. I mean, I've ordered shirts from you. I've seen you do great work. So what's like a peak time you like this super busy?
It's not what you would think. A lot of people think it's Christmas. Down here, it is football season and Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras probably hands down is the busiest time of year for me, more than anything else. But it's that and football season.
Oh, okay.
You know, pajamas and stuff, but Mardi Gras.
Yeah, and everybody, I hear everybody wants like a different type of Mardi Gras shirt. They just don't want the stripe. We know wear the stripe ones, but everybody always wants, a little something customized. And people like, where you got your shirt from? Somebody said when a small business starts out, should one expect to be profitable right out the door? Go ahead, you can answer, Lindsay.
Absolutely not. Expect to lose money up front. Because you're spending money. You have to have a product that you can make visible to people. You have to figure out how you're going to market it, and you're going to make some mistakes along the way. So you have to expect that it's going to take months potentially for you to start seeing a return on your initial investment. And that's okay.
Yeah, and most businesses, I would tell you, like the first 1 year to 2 years, you probably are playing catch up just because, like the fifth things, you got to pay to get your LLC. You got to pay for your products. You got to pay if you're storing stuff. If you have somebody doing social media for you, you're running ads. So you're putting up a lot of overhead up front, but then as you start getting your clients, start selling things or booking clients, providing more services, then you start seeing your money. Like you have another saying people say all the time, you really do need to spend money to make money. There's not a business in this world, from even big businesses. If you have a building, you have to put that money up front to buy the building, to lease the building. So you have to keep on, working till you get that money. But if you stay consistent, that's the biggest thing with businesses. And I know it gets discouraging, especially small business owner, because one week you could be sales all week, and then you have 1 week where you got one sale, no sale, and it gets discouraging. But if you keep that consistency, keep pushing out your brand. If you have one like, keep pushing it, because that one like equals to a sale. That's what it's about. Some people have 1,000 likes and none of people are bought them from them. So what does it mean? So, you got to just keep on believing in yourself, because the day that you quit might be the day that you blow up. So that's just the motivation. You got to be self-motivated. And I know it gets hard, it gets discouraging, but you have to always go back to, like, why am I doing this? Most businesses that are successful, it's because of someone's passion. It's not just because I can make money. If you always chasing a dollar, you're going to always be chasing it. You're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to get where you really want to get. So just always keep on grinding.
Yep. And I'll say too, like, think about your value proposition. I knew for me, when I first started, I wanted to get experience. So my value proposition then was speed. If you wanted a shirt the same day, I was going to make it. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of stuff on hand at the ready to be able to make stuff on a whim. And I did. So that was a lot of the upfront money that I'm talking about, and then buying the software, buying the machine, buying the heat press. That's all stuff you have to do just to allow you to even start. And then over time, of course, that has changed. I'm not particularly staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning making it anymore, but I was very hungry for it when I first started. So I did that. You are right. Consistency is key, and you have to have a hunger and a passion for it. And then over time, you migrate to adapt, the business to your life. But initially, you're going to be chasing. People have to know.
So I said, so do your business. So you do your business from home. If so, how do you not let it take over your house? Laughing out loud.
At times, it does take over my house. I won't lie. But I bought this house because there was an area that I could dedicate to it. Now, sometimes there's overflow, and I have stuff all in my living room and everywhere else. It just is what comes with it. But doing this really makes me happy. So I kind of built a space in the house specifically for it.
So, and speaking of, I know you have kids. How do you do work, your full-time job, your children, and your business on the side? Like, how does that balance? So I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs in here, most of us are still working our 9 to 5s. We have a family, a husband, significant others, different things going on, kids and extracurricular. So what is your advice for, like, that work-life balance? Oh, no, keep asking the questions, yeah. Southern Lily Candles.
So I think it's the same thing about losing money at the beginning. You're going to lose sleep. You can't go into it trying to juggle everything and then still think you're going to get your 8 hours in it. Like I said, I used to be up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, consistently up until that late, and then still had to get up and do all those things the next day. So figure out how you're going to put it in and dedicate your time to it, because usually the return will match your effort. If you're willing to throw all your extra hours at it, you'll see the return come back faster. But it's all on you and what you put out. And like I said, the quality of your product also has to match. But that's how I match it. I try to work my craft business around, like, my kids' schedules. But that's something you learn, like how to temper your orders or how to back off when you have a particularly heavy school schedule week. You might have to say no to some things or do things early, ahead of a deadline, so that you can still be there and be present for your family. But don't expect to sleep 8 hours a night every night.
And then also, too, one of the things, what I know, so a lot of people are saying, yes, Lord, full-time job here with family. I know one of the things I have learned along the way, especially with this company, is like the processes and having things in place to where it kind of almost, some things run on their own. Like on Sundays, it's normally a slow day for me, so I'll probably plan out most of my social media posts for the week, or my client's social media posts for the week. So just like you said, like you just said, things ahead of time, or getting a scheduling app that will post them for you. Or like if you are a company that does a lot of email talk, like I normally schedule my emails like a few days before and just say, like, I want to go out on Friday, at this time to go out. So I think that's another thing too to help, which thing is like you said, you gotta just be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be proactive and trying to have those policies and processes in place.
Don't be scared to include your family. My daughters, my oldest is 16. My younger daughter will be 9 on Monday. They like to help. Whether it's just sitting there, we'll laugh and kiki and do whatever, like while I'm designing stuff, or just watching put together, and it lets you teach them, because now, my oldest, some of her friends want shirts and stuff. I'm like, okay, make them. Like, if you make them, you can make that money. It's fine. Go ahead. But it doesn't have to be fully separate, is what I'm saying. Involve them. Let them see what you're doing. Teach them a skill.
Yeah, a skill that they can hopefully one day take over your company. And then also, too, everybody, you can't always do everything on your own. If you try to do everything on your own, you are going to run yourself in the ground, probably have your family mad at you because you're never present, and it's just going to be a mess. So they're going to get to a point, and I'm claiming this for every business owner in this thing, where your business is going to blow up to where you're going to have employees. Virtual assistants are a great investment right now that's very low cost, and they can do things as much as take your orders, write things down. So like if you maybe you have a great 9-to-5 that pays a great salary, you can put a little bit more money towards those type of things, like where you can have an answering service, so where when you're at work they can answer, take messages. So you gotta, like we said before, you have to put money in your business to make it work. If you're thinking you're going to penny pinch your business, you're going to be stuck. How do you keep business afloat when you are sick or family sick or on vacation?
I have a good answer for this one. This is networking is very, very important. I have like a network of crafters, and I can call them if something happens to me, my child, whatever, like, hey, I have this order. I already have all the supplies. I have the design. I just need you to make it. That's why having a network of people who are in your field, you can't look at everybody as competition. Y'all are all making the same thing. Y'all are all doing the same thing, but there's enough money for everybody. And that kind of situation right there is just why it's important to connect with those people. And I've had people do that to me, like, oh, hey, I have an emergency. Can you make these? And sometimes, it's large orders, but things happen. But again, networking is important for that, because you will ultimately, especially if you're a sole one-man band, you will need to be able to lean on somebody.
And I'm glad you touched on networking, because we talk about networking on almost every business owner, and we just want to always talk about it because we want everybody to know that it's very important. Like, you will meet some people, number one, who can put you in places that maybe you've never been, can teach you things that you may not know. They may teach you a process that cuts out an hour on what you do. You may teach them things, like, so don't look at people as competition, because everybody has their own specialty in what they're doing. You can have two people crafting but still be different. So don't look at it as like, oh, you're my competition, or I don't want to work with them, they're gonna steal my no. Don't look at it that way, because with people like that, that's a small-minded way of thinking, and then you're always going to be stuck in the same place. Like, it's always continuing education, no matter what field you're in, what you do, you can always learn. So like she said, go on Instagram, go on LinkedIn, find people who are in the craft that you're doing, that you view that's successful, or doing things that you want to do, and connect with them. Most business owners do not mind sharing. People who are confident in what they do, know their field, they don't mind sharing, because I can tell you everything, but that doesn't mean you're going to do it like I do it, So that is one of the things. And also, too, I am a big, big, big believer, when you do good for people, good comes back to you. So by you helping someone else, you don't know what type of blessing that's going to bring to your life, to your kids, to your business. So networking is a big, big thing. So don't have that small crab in the barrel mindset to where I'm not going to tell her this because she may do this. No, if you know something, you can help somebody, help them. And I tell you, it's going to come back to you.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I am introverted, and I know y'all disagree with me, but I am. But I'm telling you, I have maybe 5 or 6 people who I know who I can call if I have a question, or like if a customer wants something that I don't make but I know they make. And just start small, like, introduce yourself, tell them what you're doing, and start there. Like, it doesn't have to be immediately, oh, I need something from you. Just make the connection, and then y'all can build there and take feedback. Be willing to take feedback in those situations as well, because like she said, they may be helping you improve on what you're doing so you end up better. It's not always about somebody needing something from you. You're going to be in a position of need at some point as well.
And then also too, I know like I'm not an introvert, but being one, I know it's sometimes you're shy and things like that. But remember, it doesn't have to be a bunch of people. It's always quality over quantity. You don't have to have a network of 10. If you have one network of person who can help you with that knows a thing, that's fine. Like, but just everybody needs somebody, a mentor, somebody to guide them, in their business, because there's going to always be somebody who has been doing it longer than you, maybe more successful than you, and that's somebody that you can learn from, and then you can turn into that experienced person to be the mentor for the next person. But I always feel when people say they're shy, when you're talking about something that you love and something that you do, I feel that that's what makes people come out their shell. So I feel like if you're with a group of like-minded people doing the same thing, I think your shyness will definitely kind of fade.
Right, because it's not as awkward. Y'all already have a built-in connection. I'm doing this, you're doing this. That's your bridge right there. Just start from there, because I know when I was starting out, I actually had someone, Regina, I love Regina. She reached out to me because she was already a crafter. She had been in the game. But she started giving me like, hey, I know this vendor. They sell whatever for cheaper probably than what you're getting. It was just small talk. And she's still my friend now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. And then look, if you get shy to talk to people, you can always start with emails and DMs, and maybe progress to phone calls, and maybe progress to coffee and lunch, and get to that. So y'all, if y'all have any more questions for us, we always take a time for people to ask us more questions. And also at this time, if you are a small business owner, take this time to promote yourself. Drop what you do in here. If you do makeup, sell candles, you do hair, whatever you do, take this time so we can follow each other. We want to use this platform to build a network of people, because you never know who you're going to need for what. Somebody may say, hey, I need somebody who makes candles. I know somebody in my chat, in my business group that does that. So let's take this time to do that. And remember, you can follow Lindsay's page at I Crafted Up. Mm-hmm. When you click on her page and follow her, you can have access to her website, and you can see all the things that she does. Like she said, this football season, the river parishes, all the football schools, you're going to want something custom. So make sure you get at her. Also, remember, in November, myself, Big Poppy Smokehouse, and King's Root Management, we are doing a network event in La Place for business owners. It's $50. It includes your drinks, your food. We're going to have panelists. We're going to have networking. Business owners are going to have the opportunity to speak about their business. So it's going to be a great, classy night. So make sure you click on the link in my bio to purchase your tickets for that too. Let's see. Ooh, my thing's spinning. I think I'm froze, y'all. Hold up. Let's see. Ship out of state. Lindsay's froze right now. We'll see if she's going to get her back. I think she does ship out of state, Fred. If you go on her page and go on her website or her contact information, she'll be able to tell you, but I do think she does ship out of state. I'm trying to get her back. She's frozen. Trying to get her back. Oh, there we go. Okay. Technical difficulties, y'all. Sorry, she's trying to join back on. Okay, yeah. She said yes, Fred. She does ship out of state. What happened? I'm sorry, everybody. I'm trying to just ask me to come back on. It's not. I am sorry, everyone. I'm trying to get her back on. Good. View requests. There we go. Okay, there you go. Sorry.
I think Rose kicked me out.
Yeah, and they kept asking me to join. They wouldn't let me. He's okay. Yeah, somebody asked him. He said, you can make a lot of profit off of Xavier's homecoming on T-shirts.
When is their homecoming?
Fred, do you know when their homecoming is?
I'll find out. If not,
yeah, he's a Xavier alum. He probably knows. So yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. We had a little technical difficulties, but like we were saying, make sure you drop your businesses in here. We'll take a minute to do that. If you have any more questions for us, you can drop them now. Lindsay, thank you so much for taking time out. He said it's 11:01 to 11:05. Thanks for taking your time out and joining us tonight, sharing your business knowledge, sharing what you do. Like I said, we use this platform so people can get the knowledge that now that we do have that we wish we had when we started off. And some of the people we have in here, we have at Positive Nola Studio. She does photography, makeup. That's my girl. Yeah, and she does mobile paint parties too. So giving her, she's actually gonna be our guest next week on here. And let's see if we have any other business owners. Make sure you drop your stuff. And make sure you follow Wise Consulting, y'all. If you're a business that feel like you're stuck, need help with marketing, advertisement, public relations, that is what we do. So you can follow us too. We do free consultations, so we can always build custom packages for your business to try to get the needs that you want, to try to help you with your structure and make things just flow easy. So once again, thank you everyone for joining. Lindsay, thank you. And I hope everybody has a great night.
Bye.
Oh, HotWorks on it. Okay, Fred, about to start a HotWorks thing. Oh, Fred, so you're about to have a HotWorks in Baton Rouge. Well, let me know if you need help with your marketing and grand opening.